Alabama, let's get it.
The process, no one can stop this. Hottest show in the streets, I bet you can't top this. Rammer, jammer, yellow hammer, come see how we rock this. Alabama fans the best, there's no way you can top this. Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
The process.
Welcome into the process, Crimson Tide Recruiting. I'm your host, Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We are attempting to close out this week with another great show as I would dive into some recruiting updates about Alabama's recruiting efforts and also give my opinion about how the NCAA extending the current recruiting data period through June 30th will impact Alabama's 2021 recruiting efforts. So I wanted to take a look at that on this episode of the process. But before I dive deeper into that, I do want to hit you guys for those recruiting updates. Keep you guys updated on everything Alabama football recruiting right here on the process for yours truly on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page. So while you're here, be sure to subscribe to Touchdown Alabama on YouTube. I'm going to go right into those updates now. So with that being said, let's get the process started. To start this slate of recruiting updates off, I'm going to start with the guys who received an offer from Alabama recently. Alabama recently extended an offer to 2022 four-star defensive back in Dalen Everett, a guy who caught 11 interceptions during his sophomore season. He told me that he ran around the house for a full 10 minutes when he found out that Alabama had offered him. He was really excited about getting an offer from Alabama. You guys can check out his reaction to getting that offer on touchdownalabama.com. The link will be in the description of this video as well. Alabama also offered 2022 the offensive lineman in Kanea Charlton, a guy who stands at 6'6", weighs 320 pounds, a very mobile offensive lineman as Alabama really likes his mobility and his ability to keep blocking and keeps his feet moving when he's running blocking. Alabama really likes this kid for several different reasons, as Alabama's outside linebacker coach Salson Siri was the one to inform Charlton of his offer from Alabama. He said he really likes this offer, although he has close to 20 Division I offers. He said this Alabama offer is different because it is Alabama. You guys check out the article with them on touchdownalabama.com as well. Alabama's 2021 five-star athlete target JaQuincy McKinstry is set to announce his top 5 on Sunday. I think Alabama will be involved in his top 5, but I think this is going to give everyone else a good look at some of the other top schools he is currently considering. Alabama was able to get him on campus for one of their junior day events before the current recruiting restrictions were put in place. Alabama is also involved in the recruitment when it comes to 2021 four-star safety Kane Williams, who's set to announce his verbal commitment on Friday. Alabama looks to be a serious contender. As always, we will keep you guys updated on his commitment on touchdownalabama.com. We will drop a breakdown video if he chooses to commit to video. If he chooses to commit to Alabama, you guys check out that video on YouTube. You guys check out the articles on touchdownalabama.com. But now I'm going to dive into how the current recruiting restrictions being extended through June 30th will impact Alabama's recruiting efforts. But I will also look at some of the positives. I know that a lot of Alabama fans do not see that many positives with the amount of commitments that Alabama currently has. But I think there are some positives going into this recruiting data period with it being extended through June 30th. I think it is a bright side to look at, but I'm also going to look at what the future could hold for Alabama in terms of them pushing for guys in the 2021 recruiting class. Well, let's first look at some of the things Alabama's coaching staff was able to do before the current recruiting restrictions were put in place. When you look at Alabama's recruiting efforts, they did host 2 junior day events, one in February where they got a chance to host guys like five-star athlete JaQuincy McKinstry, both of the Brockermeyer twins. They were also able to host Jaden Roberts, a 4-star offensive lineman out of North Shore High School in Houston, Texas. They were able to get 4-star linebacker Ian Jackson on campus. They actually offered him during that junior day event, so getting him on campus after they offered him, and he has now looked to become one of their top linebacker targets. So that was pretty huge for Alabama, getting Jackson on campus for their junior day event in February. They were also able to get guys like 4-star athlete Xavier Sori on campus, 4-star defensive back Terry Arnold on campus, who said on the process that Nick Saban told him that he is their number 1 defensive back on their board. So you can check out that episode of The Process right here on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page as well. We're going into Alabama's March Junior Day event. They also hosted a couple of other key targets when you look at 3-star athlete Jordan Gilbert, who Alabama's recruiting at the defensive back position, 4-star defensive lineman Shambre Jackson out of Orlando, Florida. By the way, of Boone High School, Alabama's head coach Nick Saban did FaceTime him a couple of days ago, and Alabama's coaching staff has remained in contact with Jackson throughout this recruiting dead period. I'm talking about multiple members of Alabama's coaching staff, including Nick Saban, Jeff Banks, Harmon Wiggins, and of course Freddie Roach, who Jackson told me was in contact with him almost every day before he visited the University of Alabama for their March Junior Day event. So Alabama's coaching staff was able to get those guys on campus. That was huge for Alabama, as several other teams did not get to host those guys who they are recruiting. So that is huge for Alabama in terms of them pushing for guys. They were also able to host 4-star safety Kane Williams, who is expected to announce his commitment on Friday. Alabama looks to be a huge contender for Williams for several reasons, and one of those reasons is the fact that they got him on campus for their Junior Day event in March. So that was pretty good for Alabama as well. So I think that works in Alabama's favor. Something to look at in a positive light for Alabama in terms of things that look kind of dark and to a lot of Alabama fans. So that is a positive way to look at Alabama's current circumstances. You also have to take a look at some of the guys who wanted to take an official visit to the University of Alabama this summer. Guys who already had dates set, like 3-star defensive end and outside linebacker Darryl Peterson out of Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron, Ohio. He was set to take an official visit to the University of Alabama during the month of June. He was going to officially visit Michigan, West Virginia, and Wisconsin as well before he announced a decision. Alabama's coaching staff has been in contact with them throughout the recruiting dead period as well. This is a kid Alabama's coaching staff feels can play multiple positions on the defensive side of the ball, multiple linebacker positions, inside linebacker and outside linebacker. So Darryl Peterson is a guy Alabama's coaching staff really likes, but he did tell me if he was not able to take any of those official visits, he is confident enough in the visits that he have already taken to make a decision, and his decision could possibly be pushed up if he cannot take any of those visits. He told me he's going to commit this summer regardless, and I think Alabama will be in a good position with them. They did host him for an unofficial visit in February for one of their Junior Day events, so that was good for Alabama. Another one of those bright side things, if you want to look at it that way. Alabama was able to get him on campus before he possibly is going to make a decision. I know that Michigan offered him recently and they wanted to get him on campus for an official visit. That visit was scheduled, but it does not look like Michigan will be able to get him on campus, and that probably will hurt the Wolverines. Wolverines will possibly miss out on the kid because of the recruiting restrictions the current dead period has in place. So that's just another way to look at it as well. Then you turn your attention to what Alabama has done as of late in terms of getting a commitment from 4-star wide receiver Ja'Cory Brooks. I think that showed that Alabama's coaching staff is able to get commitments from guys and are willing to get commitments from guys that they really feel good about. Although they have not hosted them lately, as Ja'Cory Brooks was not able to get onto the campus of the university before the current recruiting restrictions were put in place. So Ja'Cory Brooks' commitment, I think it shows Alabama's coaching staff is adjusting. If they really want to push for a guy, they have a chance to really land in that guy during this recruiting dead period. And I think if they land Kane Williams, I think that gives Alabama some more momentum. I think momentum on the recruiting trail is really good for a team, especially for a team that has a lack of commitments like Alabama has at the moment. I think Alabama's coaching staff wanted to evaluate guys during the summer, wanted to get guys on campus during the spring, but since they are not able to do that, I think Alabama's coaching staff is going to rely on some of the evaluations of their coaching staff, and also relying on some of their trusted sources on the recruiting trail, trusted coaches, some of the familiar faces for Alabama's coaching staff. Rely on those guys' evaluations, rely on the relationships that they have already built, and possibly get some verbal commitments from some guys that they really start to feel really good about. So I think Alabama could still pick up a couple of commitments during the summer. I think they're going to push for something to get some of those guys verbally committed throughout the summer and evaluate guys as much as they they possibly can, due to the fact that the hands are kind of tied at the moment. So that is something to look at as a positive as well. Alabama's coaching staff is adjusting, is working hard to build their 2021 recruiting class despite all of the challenges that they have faced. But the last thing I wanted to take a look at is the future, what Alabama's coaching staff is going to continue to do to push for some of the top targets in the 2021 recruiting class. The future still has a chance to be bright for Alabama's 2021 recruiting class in my mind for several different reasons. The first is the fact that this is something that's going on around the nation in terms of the NCAA Division I football world. Everyone has to abide by these same rules. No one really has an advantage in terms of that. And going back to the fact that Alabama did host some guys in the 2021 class before the current recruiting restrictions were put in place, they can use that to their advantage, having some guys who are able to get on campus and possibly push for those guys who may feel very good about Alabama after visiting them last. So that is just another good way to look at it if you want to. But going forward, looking towards the future, I think Alabama's coaching staff will continue to FaceTime guys, continue to Zoom call guys, continue to try to stay in contact with some of their top targets as much as possible. Continue to evaluate other guys in the 2022-2023 recruiting class. With huddle being such a big thing now, I don't think that's going to be a problem. You can evaluate guys. I think that's usually how they offer most guys anyway, through the huddle film. I think it's just going to suck for guys who wanted to get on the recruiting board and visit some high-profile schools, camps, and get a chance to start their recruitment off. That's going to really hurt those guys. Some hidden gems might get looked over in future recruiting classes because of the current recruiting restrictions that are put in place. So that is something to look at as well. Now, Alabama's coaching staff is not going to be able to evaluate guys that they wanted to evaluate more account before they extended an offer, going to 4-star wide receiver Christian Lewis out of Pleasant Grove High School in Pleasant Grove, Alabama. I think this kid is amazing. I got a chance to see him play multiple times. I think this is a kid who could fit into Alabama's system. I know they have a lot of other 2021 wide receiver targets still on the board, and they have a little bit more room to add a couple of guys, and I think that Christian Lewis would have been a nice guy for them to go after. He did get a chance to visit Alabama during one of their junior day events, but they wanted to get him on campus for one of their summer camps before they got a chance to offer him, get a chance to see how he runs the 40, get a chance to get some more measurables on him before they gave him an offer. And I think he might have got that offer if he went to camp. So that is another impact that the coronavirus has had on recruiting guys like that who possibly wanted to get an offer from a certain school. But it doesn't matter. Christian Lewis situation, because he's going to go Division I no matter what, with so many Division I teams currently recruiting him. So Alabama's coaching staff still has a chance to pull off possibly a big summer with some of the guys that they really like, some of the guys they are still pushing for, and some of the guys that they were able to get on campus. Going back to the Brockermeyer twins, it's an update I wanted to provide before I end this show, is the fact that when their dad, Blake Brockermeyer, was on the process a couple of episodes back, he did tell me that they feel really good about the current situation in terms of getting a chance to visit some of the schools that they are really considering. They feel that they have visited enough schools so they can make the right decision. So that is an update I wanted to provide as well. You guys check out that episode of the process on touchdownalabama.com as well. So those are some of the things I wanted to talk about, give you guys a recruiting update. In terms of Alabama's coaching staff trying to work through the challenges of the recruiting dead period being extended through June. That's it for this episode of The Process. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page. Go ahead and subscribe to Touchdown Alabama. Then head over to touchdownalabama.com. With that subscription to Touchdown Alabama, you'll be able to read all of our subscriber-only articles. You'll also get your hands on our yearly print magazine issue. So go ahead and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com so you can be one of your first friends to know all of the latest Alabama football and Alabama football recruiting news. Also download the Touchdown Alabama app. It is located in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store to stay updated on everything Alabama football recruiting and everything Alabama football related. As always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine.
Process.